Hello and welcome to episode 276 of the Heart of Markness Led Zeppelin podcast. How do you do, everybody? I am Mark. It is a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Portland, Oregon. It is in the mid-70s with the sun shining. It is absolutely beautiful. Much better than the 100-degree shit that we put up with in the 90s. It's perfect. It is a paradise here at this time, and I hope it is where you are too. I hope everything's Jim Dandy wherever you are, and if it isn't, I hope listening to this helps. Today we have November 11th, 1971, Led Zeppelin in Newcastle upon Tyne in England on the opening date of their UK tour for 1971, and it is, as a 1971 show is, pretty darn good. Robert's voice, pretty darn good. Jimmy Page, a very good guitar player. John Paul Jones, a wonderful multi-instrumentalist. John Bonham, best rock drummer of all time. Yep, it's all there. The tape on the UK tour, it's fantastic. The 1971 UK tour is fantastic. The tapes are fine, but not amazing, and I think only Ipswich, as far as I know, has more than one source. So the tour is represented, but most shows, aside from Ipswich, only have one source, so you're kind of stuck with you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. This tape is not bad. It's a little distant. I did amplify it. I raised the volume on it because it was quiet, but I didn't do anything else. Nothing with the EQ, nothing with the speed. And it is not the complete show. As the taper said, that he had 3 cassettes, and over the decades, because it's more than 50 years ago, he lost 2 of them. But then he found one that just had communication breakdown on it. So he had that years later added to this. So what we have is, here's what we have for the recording: Immigrant Song, Heartbreaker, Black Dog, Since I've Been Loving You, Rock and Roll, Stairway to Heaven, the acoustic set, That's the Way, Going to California, and Tangerine, Dazed and Confused, What Is and What Should Never Be, Celebration Day, and then Communication Breakdown. Pretty good. Not too bad. We don't have the whole lot of love in the medley, but we have the meat and potatoes of a Led Zeppelin concert aside from that tragically lost whole lot of love. So, pretty darn good. You can get this recording exactly as I have it at heartofmarkness.com. Look for this show, episode 276. Find it. In that blog post, there will be a link to this show where you can download this complete recording for free, as I got it for free, as it's shared for free. That's the whole ethos of this whole tape thing. Not selling it as bootlegs, that's a federal offense. Sharing it freely, 100% A-OK. So, go to heartofmarkness.com, get this recording if you'd like it. If you like what you hear and you want to hear the rest of it, you are welcome to do so. All right, well, speaking of the rest of it, what am I going to play for you today, ladies and germs? I am going to play Heartbreaker. Always a delight in 1970 and 1971. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's get going. Heartbreaker, Newcastle upon Tyne, and I believe it was at this stop in this town where John Paul Jones bought his acoustic upright bass. When did they mention that? Robert mentioned that in the Destroyer, April 27th, 1977 acoustic set, I believe. So it was purchased in Newcastle upon Tyne in England for about $18. I don't know how much it was, but Newcastle upon Tyne, that's where they are. This is where it is, and this is where he bought it. I know, we're listening to history. All right, guys, Heartbreaker. Let's go nuts. All right.
Stop!
Quite a nice recording, all things considered. In the notes for the recording, the gentleman, the taper, mentions that he used cheap mics in the sleeve of his jacket and a cheap recorder and a cheap tape. And there we go. We captured that, And it's amazing. If you can get to the master tape, even with a tape that's not great, you can still extract some really good quality stuff. It's important. Good stuff. And Heartbreaker. You know, what are you going to say? Great performance. I love the 1971 Heartbreakers. They're just effortless for Jimmy. Just absolutely master of the technique. All right, then. We have heard Heartbreaker. Everybody's happy? Everybody happy? You feeling good? Huh? Let us now listen to the second song that I have for you. Bum, 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 bum. And it is... Well, what is it there, Mark? Well, it is what is and what should never be. I always liked this live. I don't know why. Sounds cool. Great song. Great rhythm. And, yeah. It's one I like to hear live, and always good in 71. Not that it was played a lot elsewhere. 70. I guess it was played in 70. I don't know. What is and what should never be. Let us enjoy a wonderful song. Ba-na, 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 ba-na-now. Absolutely amazing. I love the ending to that song live with the bow, bow, bow. Great tone, great technique, Mr. Page, and of course Robert singing at his not quite peak powers, but well before any issues. Well, that's not even true. Robert sounds lovely. Strong high voice still. Did you know you can find me wherever you find podcasts? Well, we did know that, Mark, because we found you, because we're listening to your podcast. I know. That's the first part. I am also on Facebook. There's a lovely Facebook group for the Heart of Markness podcast. Everybody is welcome to join. About 300 people, all of them very nice, all of them very well versed in Led Zeppelin and classic rock. Cool people, cool place to hang out. I am also on Instagram, Heart of Markness Led Zepp podcast or something like that. You'll find me. Please follow me. Twitter, not so much on X anymore because that's kind of gone to poo-poo. On YouTube, Heart of Markness, there's a theme here. You can follow me on YouTube, Heart of Markness, if you want to listen to the podcast in a different way and watch a video while doing it. Where else? Yes, the aforementioned Heart of Markness, Led Zeppelin, heartofmarkness.com. There we go. Website. That's where, as I mentioned earlier, I post the shows as well as links to the concert recording that I reference. So you can get the whole show for almost all of the shows that I've done, and I've done over 400 so far, including bonus episodes and Patreon broadcasts. Which brings me to my patrons. All of this is courtesy of the wonderful people who support this podcast and myself and you with their financial support. They pay for the hosting of the podcast, the hosting of the shows, the hosting of the website. They are wonderful hosts. They're the hosts with the mosts. And I offer them a laurel and hearty handshake to Keith and Tilda, to Steve, to George, to Big Ed, to Kenny, to John from West Footscray, from Picard, from Wayne, from Brad, from Danielle, from Tracy, from the Supreme and other David, Bonzo, Billy, and Mimo. These are the pillars, the titans upon whose shoulders rests this humble yet mighty podcast. And I have a podcast I'm going to record for them shortly after I do this. I don't know if I'll get to it tonight, but it's going to be a good one. And it will not be esoteric like the ones I do. I've done a lot of Robert Plant, current stuff and older stuff on the Patron podcast. This time it's going to be good old Led Zeppelin, a nice new 3-source matrix of the Badge Holders show, June 23rd. And the matrices are kind of hit or miss, and it sounds good. And the thing with matrices is that they're not great for headphones because the spatial information is distorted because you're overlaying different sources. But it's great for playing in the house or in the garage or in the car. Mwah! Wonderful. Aside from some maybe phasing issues that you cannot avoid that I know of. So yay. Thank you to everybody who supports the podcast. Thank you to everyone who listens to the podcast. And if you want to reach me, you can reach me on any of those platforms like I mentioned earlier, or mark@heartofmarkness.com will get you the same thing. Now then, let us wrap this up with the last song I'm going to play for you. And this is, it's a better sounding, louder recording because it's from a different cassette, maybe from a different location. I don't know. But this is one that the taper found years later and added it to the mix. It is Communication Breakdown. Let's get to it.
Hey, yeah, you want to do it.
And there we have it. Killer rendition. Such a tight band. Such a tight band. That start-stop intricacy, the perfection of that, gets the audience going. They just led the audience around by their noses like masters of the craft in their 20s. Bless their hearts. Yay, I'm so glad that we have a zillion Led Zeppelin live recordings to listen to. Thank you, tapers. Thank you, everybody that curates and shares. Dogs of Doom, the Gems taping group, the Royal Orleans, everybody. Led Zeppelin Boots on YouTube. Oh yeah, Led Zeppelin Boots on YouTube. If you don't follow Led Zeppelin Boots. Great stuff. Same sources I use from the same place. And great human being. All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. It's a short episode, but I still did 3 songs, and just the songs were short, so the episode is shorter. I don't need to fill it up with padding and talk. So, hope you liked it. I will be back next Sunday, God willing, inshallah, with another Led Zeppelin podcast. I did a bonus episode yesterday of a great Rolling Stones show from 75 at the LA Forum, taped by Mike Millard. Sounds amazing. That's a good one to listen to. Otherwise, I'll talk to you next week. Please be good to yourselves and each other. And bye.